right, good morning, party people. It is the 26th. Happy Sunday. Okay, so we are back in the prophetic books today. Yesterday, I had to do 3 videos to get through the Second Chronicles chapters. So we are, for our daily reading today, we're doing Isaiah 29:30, Daniel 3:4, Revelations 5:6, Psalms 103 and 104, and then Proverbs 24. Okay, so that's our daily reading. So we are back in Isaiah. Now we've been covering Isaiah. He'd been doing some woes, right? So he'd been bringing some attacks against different nations, and we're back in chapter 29. Now he's addressing Jerusalem, which is in the southern kingdom. So let me give you a little bit of a recap of where Isaiah is. So this is my old map from my old study Bible. So here is the northern kingdom, right? So at the time of, and here's Isaiah. So Isaiah is speaking the fall of the northern kingdom. So this is the northern kingdom's time of power. This is when they fall, and you see that Isaiah is working right before they fall and then a little bit afterwards. So Isaiah is kind of a lot to grasp, because his work not only applies to the northern kingdom, which is just a mess and is about to fall and is being constantly attacked by Assyria at this point, but also he's addressing the southern kingdom, which is where Jerusalem is, and that's where the good kings are, the line of the Davidic kings, the legitimate heirs of David are ruling, but they have their own issues as well, right? So he's coming against the northern kingdom, he's coming against the southern kingdom, and then he also has glimpses and pieces of end time prophecy of Christ's return and the times of the end as well. So there's a lot going on with Isaiah. So right now we are in chapter 29, and I'm only going to have time to get through 29 today, and I'll probably have to do 2 videos. But 29 and 30 are amazing. So those of you who have been harping on you guys to get a study Bible, please get a study Bible. The language and the beauty of his writing is just crazy. I use the New King James Version. That's just something that I've used for years. I prefer that. So, of course, I'm going to be a little prejudiced for that. But a study Bible is not going to be the end of all ends. It's not going to give you all of the definition and understanding of it, but it's going to certainly open your eyes a lot, and it would be a great beginning, right? So you can take that and start with that, and then just go crazy from there. All right, so right now we are in chapter 29, and it starts with, so this is, it's called Woe to Jerusalem, and this is Isaiah confronting the southern kingdom, right? It says, Woe to Ariel, the city where David dwelt. Add year to year, yet let feasts come around. Okay, so here's something already right at the very beginning. So he's calling it Ariel, right? He's referring to Jerusalem. So there's a couple different ideas on that in the commentaries. Ariel can refer to, the word itself can actually means like a sacrificial burning, or like a burning, right? And it also refers to the Lion of the tribe of Judah, like something to do with the lion and the Judah, referencing, of course, that references Jesus, of course, but also the Judah was one of the tribes that came to the southern kingdom, right? The Davidic line. So when it says, Woe to Ariel, there's a couple different ways to look at this. So the coming destruction that's going to come on Jerusalem is, some of the interpreters look at this as, it's going to be so bad. He's using that word to represent Jerusalem, because it was a word that they used to represent Jerusalem, but it was in a negative context, because it was going to be so destroyed. It was going to be like a burning fire. It's just going to be completely destroyed, like a pyre of fire. Then the other suggestion, and both of these could work, right, is that it could be, as they call themselves the Lion of the tribe of Judah, he's mocking them, because this whole chapter is about their blindness and their how they've fallen from where they were, and they're relying on their past. They're relying on the fact that they are from the tribe of Judah, right? That they are from the lineage of David. That they're walking in this past holiness, past relationship that is not even real. It's not. So this could also be used as in that way as well. That they're calling themselves the Lion of the tribe of Judah, or something along that line, something to do with Lion and Judah, when in fact that's not reality anymore, right? So there we go. Where's verse 1? Woe to Ariel, the city where David dwelt. Add year to year, let feasts come around. So here he's talking about how empty they're just going through the motions. So year to year, let feasts come around. Remember, we talked about the Feast of Tabernacles, all the different They had feasts every year, so they're just like going through the motions. That they're not even honoring God the way they're supposed to during those times. Verse 2, yet I will distress Ariel. There shall be heaviness and sorrow, and it shall be to me as Ariel. I will encamp against you all around. I will lay siege against you with a mound, and I will raise siege works against you. You shall be brought down, you shall speak out of the ground. Your speech shall be low out of the dust. Your voice shall be like a medium's out of the ground, and your speech shall whisper out of the dust. So he's saying that this, what's going to happen to them is from him, it's because of where they're at, right? And he's saying that what they were once such a powerful nation, now they will be muttering. Whereas they spoke loudly to other nations and they had powerful alliances, now they will be like nothing, like a little nothing that mutters from the ground. Verse 5, moreover, the multitude of your foes shall be like fine dust, and the multitude of the terrible ones like chaff that passes away. Yet it shall be in an instant, suddenly. You will be punished by the Lord of hosts with thunder and earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. So here he's saying, moreover, the multitude of your foes shall be like fine dust. So there's going to be a lot of them that's coming against them. And it shall be instantly, it shall be fast and sudden. But then when he's talking about you will be punished by the Lord of hosts with thunder and earthquake and great noise, storm and tempest, and flame of devouring fire, he's bringing to remembrance what it was like on when Moses was speaking with God on the mountain, right? Where everyone was so afraid because it was just overwhelming. So he's giving the same flavor right here of that. Then it says, verse 7, the multitude of all the nations who fight against Ariel, even all who fight against her and her fortress and distress her, shall be as a dream of a night vision. It shall be as when a hungry man dreams and look, he eats, but when he awakes, his soul is still empty. Or as when a thirsty man dreams and look, he drinks, but when he awakes, indeed, he is faint, and his soul still craves. So the multitude of all the nations shall be who fight against Mount Zion. So he's describing that there are going to be a whole bunch of people that come, or groups of people that come against them, and but they're what they want and look at as success. They think that they're going to be full and they're going to get all this bounty and all this fruit, and yet God is going to deal with them as well. They think that this is referring to in 701, which this would have been under King Hezekiah, which we haven't even gotten into King Hezekiah yet. So they think that this whole chapter is addressing the Assyrian siege that comes in 701 against Jerusalem. All right, so now this is where it's getting into the blindness of the people. So verse 9 says, pause and wonder, blind yourselves and be blind. They are drunk, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with intoxicating drink. For the Lord has poured out on you the spirit of deep sleep and has closed your eyes, namely the prophets, and he has covered your heads, namely the seers. So what they're referring to here is when Isaiah was coming against Israel, the northern kingdom, they were blind with literal blindness because they were drinking. They were actually involved in all of these natural sins, right, that completely blinded them, and they were just walking a completely different path than God's path. But here, these guys are blinded spiritually. So these guys are acting like they're doing things right, but they're not doing things right. So they may not be drunk with wine, but they're drunk with carnal, mental stuff, right? So it says here, so he's saying the prophets are, God has actually gotten involved. So it says when he's poured out for the Lord has poured out on you the spirit of deep sleep and has closed your eyes, namely the prophets. He has covered your heads, namely the seers. So now he's getting involved because he's like, these people are so blinded and they're so walking in their own ways that God is completely shutting them off. And when it talks about the deep sleep, that's actually referring back to when God put Adam to sleep so he could take out the rib, I believe, to make Eve. But it's a supernatural event, and it's a supernatural involvement of God in this situation. And I'm out of time. Okay, so I knew that was going to happen. So we're in 29. I just ended verse 10, so I'm going to do another video just to finish 29. That's all I'm going to have time to do today, but please read chapter 30 because it's awesome. Don't forget, if you don't get to watch the other video, Jesus is the only way to the Father. There's no one that you cannot get to God by good works because you're a good person. That don't work. All you have to do is say, Jesus, I give you my life, and you're in. All right? And then just read your Bible. Jesus is coming. Peace. See you on number 2.